It's intoxicated, man. It's like, actually losing it, actually, you know what I'm saying? And he, like, just, like, punched, like, two women, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Real though, I mean, like, he was, like, actually, like, talking major stuff, or whatever. And he, like, used, like, racial slur. Like, it was crazy. He said, a nigga bitch. Or whatever, whatnot. But he said the one with the hard R. You know what I'm saying? He said nigger bitch. Or whatever. And he popped both of these women in his shit. Or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Until another dude came or something. Then he was turning out to the police saying he don't know what happened. Or he didn't start nothing. Or whatever. No one goddamn well it was on the camera. The whole goddamn time. And this motherfucker got like sentenced for 6 months. The judge, like, treated it like it was nothing bad or nothing like that. Just gave that to motherfucking 6 months for that shit. For abusing these ladies. And that's on, bro. Anyway, now, this one man, actually went on this boat with his brother and his 11-year-old daughter, or whatever, whatnot. And, like, it seems like, yeah, an accident happened or whatever, or whatnot. But I don't think that was an accident because how the hell they gonna end up overboard on the fucking boat or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like, the 11-year-old drowned and her brother drowned or whatever, whatnot. And the shit is crazy as ever. Like, that's crazy. And they, like, actually, like, actually took this woman to jail or whatever and, like, put her on a $50,000 bond or whatever. Her, like, family actually, like, paid for her to get out and she's out. And that shit crazy as everything. The only thing she had to do is stay away from the family and that's on bro. Crazy. Anyway, now the kid that I was talking about, he was 18 years old. He's not a kid, he's an adult. But anyway, he went out with his friends, with both of his friends on this fishing trip. And I, messed up his name on my last video. His name is Daniel, or whatever, whatnot. And, like, he was on the swimming team, or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? So, how the hell did he accidentally drown, or whatever? That don't make no sense, gang. I mean, like I said, if he was on the swimming team, he was a good swimmer. So, how the hell did he accidentally drown? And foremost, his, supposed to be friend, like, deleted some evidence from his goddamn phone. Like, really though, I mean, like, shit, I don't know. Something don't add up, gang. Know what I'm saying? I think they drowned that boy. Because it don't make sense. And that's on, bro. Anyway, now, I already told y'all, I talked about this, like, 26-year-old, but I'm gonna tell y'all the story about what happened to this brother, or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like, the ICE agents actually was after somebody else, and they couldn't find that person. So, they chose this man to, pursue this man or whatever, whatnot. Riddle. And when they went to go pursue him or whatever, they said he actually drove off or whatever, shot 4 shots into the windshield or whatever, killing this man or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this stuff crazy as ever. For real though, I mean, like, even ICE will shoot anybody if they can't catch the person that they actually try to catch or whatever, whatnot. They just want to say, case closed. You know what I'm saying? That's on bro. Anyway. So now, this, like, 69-year-old, like, suffered by, like, his, like, six of his ribs broken or whatever, whatnot. And that stuff was crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, they was out of pocket for that shit. They put him in a, like, cell with pink walls or whatever, whatnot. And they said this man had a pencil on him. And it was like, are you going to try to stab me with the pencil? You going to try to use the pencil or whatever? And they were like, put the pencil down, put the pencil down. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, yeah, they like moved towards them, tased them, and like, one of them put like, all their weight on his man or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? End up breaking all six of his ribs. He had to punch a lung or whatever. He had to go to the intensive care. Like when the paramedics, like, showed up and they checked on him and stuff like that, they asked him, did he wanted them to take him to, like, intensive care? He said yes. But the police stopped the paramedics from doing that or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That was some crazy shit, gang. For real though. Anyway, so they, like, took the man out the pink cell. You know what I'm saying? And they, like, actually put him in his room with blue walls. So they put him in the blue cell or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then when they, like, actually told him to, like, put his hand on the wall, right after they put, like, start taking the handcuffs off, and they just, like, closed him up in there. They just closed him up in there, like, shoot, that's some crazy shit. Like, this dude have, like, broken ribs and a punctured lung. Like, goddamn, they just gonna let this man bleed like that? Like, really though, they out of pocket for that shit, gang, and that's on bro. Anyway, so this cop, like, actually got caught beating up some woman or whatever. But I already told y'all about that, you know what I'm saying? For real though, about him being on a ring cam and all that, like when he flipped her over and stuff like that. I already told y'all about that, gang. But anyway, now, these cops, like, had to pay, like, $700,000, right? Because, like, they was after, like, juvenile that, like, actually ran away from home or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And, like, they couldn't even, like, find him. So they went after somebody else. They went after this, like, kid named June. Or Judo or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they acted like he was, like, he did commit a crime or something like that. And then they, like, actually, like, went down on this kid or whatever and grabbed his arms, placing handcuffs on him, and one of them broke his arm or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is crazy, gang. I'm like, goddamn, that's some crazy ass shit right there. I'm telling you, gang. It's crazy as ever. Anyway, so the cop was up there just, like, trying to see what's up or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, no, I'm not a mom. No, I know his mom. I'll call y'all here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. I mean, like, he was just talking to, like, the cops, and the cops just, like, ran up to him and just did him like that or whatever. Then they found a mom when they got him. He obviously said, like, you know what I'm saying? They said, why you ran away or whatever? He was like, I just didn't want to be around my mom. I'm like, oh my goodness. This brother was, like, darker than her mom. Her mom was, like, light skinned. You know what I'm saying? So how they go, like, have to get it all messed up and shit? I'm like, that's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit, gang. And that's on bro. Anyway, now, this, like, oh my goodness. This dude was, like, just actually, like, just, like, minding his business or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real though, it was, like, crazy as ever. I'm like, dang. What? You mind your business, But that stuff Stuff just crazy as ever. I'm like, shoot, it's just like they try to be like bullies and shit. Just try to actually talk shit to you, major shit to you, or whatever, whatever. And then they want you to, like, comply to it or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, shit, I mean, if you know your rights, all your rights, all 27 of them motherfuckers, like, explain to them about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be doing that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just, like, like, ask them, like, about some certain shit or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask them the correct shit. And, like, tell them to get their supervisor over there. If they don't do that shit, then they need to leave you alone. If it's not, then that's like crazy as ever. You know what I'm saying? Because like if they keep you in one place, then they holding you on nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? That's harassment right there, okay? And that's on bro. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, enjoy the video, hit the bell notification so you see my next upload and my next post, and make sure I make another one tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like, gang. So, be aware, goodbye.